Hey, gorgeous miracle. How are you today? Happy March. This is your mid-March energy update. We've got a lot of energies flooding in the planet. So I wanted to come and do a quick energy update so that you could more consciously attune to the energies that are happening and have some amazing tools to use to work with these. So be sure to stay to the end where we'll have all those tools, tips, and takeaways for you as always. And if you're watching this on Instagram, please give this a like or a comment on the replay, and same thing on YouTube. And thank you for being here, you miracle of light. So let's dive into these energies because we're really hitting some new energy territory. And this shows up in really different ways. But one thing that's happening for the collective, okay, so this is probably happening out pictured in your world somehow. You're feeling this energy. It's the feeling of having outgrown a situation that you're in and feeling like you need something else to grow you in a different way. And so how this energy shows up is very different. So I'm seeing an example of somebody who they have been in a work situation and they just feel like they have so much more to give to this work environment, but they feel like they've hit their ceiling of growth. And there's an aspect of them that really would love to do something vastly different. Like they know they've outgrown their current work situation, but yet they know they need this new situation and they don't quite know how to get there. So this energy of this outgrowing your old container can show up very much in a work environment. It can also show up in a relationship environment. So you might be feeling in a relationship, or maybe it's even a group of people that you sort of outgrown this relationship. And how I'm seeing this is one side of the energy really feels like, to use the terminology, they want their cake and eat it too. They want to experience more in this relationship. They want to have all of these different parts of themselves being fulfilled. And then the other party or parties in the relationship, because sometimes, right, we have relationships with work friends, or maybe it's a pickleball club, right? Whatever it is, we have these co-mingled relationships. So on the other side of this energy can be a group of people or one person who feels really fulfilled. They feel like, no, this is amazing. I love this and I don't want it to change. So this is a very interesting energetic, and it's happening to you and it's happening on the planet as a whole. So if this is happening in your world, just know that part of the reason why we have these very real world 3D, three-dimensional experiences is so that the energy can pass through your body vehicle and be upgraded and upshifted through your consciousness. I call this the re-seeing process, or re-knowing something in a higher way. So things that you want to start to ask yourself, especially this week, is, how have I possibly outgrown where I'm at? And what new structures would I need in order to really let this be different? You can ask yourself, like, what would you like to experience? What are the energies that you would like to experience? Oftentimes we think that we have to change the people who we're operating with in order to get something to change. And that's been a very old way of doing things, right? This isn't working, so I got to change these people in my life. And the new way can simply be, well, this isn't working. What energy can I then be in order to have a very different experience with this? So this energy is a very big one of outgrowing your container. It's something that's happening sort of across the board. And if that's you, just know that that's a part of what you're experiencing right now. I've been using the analogy this week of a French press. If you've ever added coffee and water into a French press, it feels like what's happening is the universe is sort of French pressing you, getting all those coffee grounds out and the beautiful coffee juice, that drinkable coffee juice, for everyone to enjoy, but part of the process is squeezing out the parts that are gritty. And so we're all getting the squeeze this last week in particular, those gritty parts of us that really show us where we have outgrown something, really show you where you do want a new experience, and really knowing that that is okay to ask the universe for something different on your behalf. Ask the universe to help you to bring in that new energy so that you can experience something from a different perspective. Because part of what's happening on the planet right now specifically is that we are encountering all these very old, sometimes very gnarly 3D experiences so that we can work with the energy in a more conscious way, in a more conscious, heart-centered way, so that it upshifts itself into higher levels of resonance. It's kind of like you can sing the national anthem in the key of D, or you can sing it in the key of E. You can go up the octave scale, you can go down the octave scale. And so part of your work right now is to see the experience that you're having and re-sing it, re-know it into a higher octave of resonance, to a higher octave of frequency and vibration. And how you do that is really a super simple process. And it's going to sound so simple that you might even think, oh, I'm not even going to try that because it's so simple. But for me, it's simply just looking at the situation and asking the universe to help you run the frequency of Christ consciousness, of divine consciousness, of the highest level of consciousness based in love that you can hold at this time, and run this energy in and through your physical body, and then ask this very conscious energy to come into the situation, whatever it may be, and re-see it and re-know it in love and higher consciousness. Again, you're using this alchemical process of your heart and your conscious mind, but drawing from a higher consciousness level to and through your physical energy body to really alchemize these situations that are coming through. So again, this first one, especially this last week of feeling like you've outgrown a container, like you really need something new, something different, but probably you're feeling like you don't necessarily know how to get there from here. And that can feel really scary. It can feel really weird to know that you want something different, but not know how. Like your how might be completely out of your energetic viewpoint. And I'm literally seeing a woman who wants to live someplace different and have a different job. And she knows that. She knows that without a shadow of a doubt, but she has no idea the doors to even open. And from as I'm looking behind the scenes of that, it's like there's so many different timelines happening and shifting all of a sudden, all those coffee grounds again getting pressed out, that this is sort of the time when we have to really be patient and trust in the unknown, in the unseen, in the what our intuition is guiding us to and what our intuition is showing us is for you, but trusting that it is for you, and also trusting that you might not understand how it's going to get there. So attached to this energy for this week specifically is the energy of learning to create your own security no matter what is happening in the world. So this is, again, part of the alchemical process that we're all going through of learning to live at higher octaves of frequency, at more oneness-based frequencies. We have to learn how to create our individual sense of safety no matter what's happening. And so you might this week have a job that you thought you would have forever that all of a sudden feels on shaky ground, or you might have something that you feel like, oh, well, this has always been the plan, and you might be realizing now that that's not really the plan. And so part of what's happening here is that we've all been on this kind of an old third dimensional based timeline where we've been operating from certain programs. In fact, I'm seeing a very specific person come into my awareness right now, and it's the person who's been wanting to be that New York Times best-selling author and speak on stages around the world. And that was very much in the 3D plan of things. And now that so much of the energy has switched, they're going to be feeling like, gosh, I don't even know if that's for me anymore. I don't even know if that resonates. And there's a part of their energy that still wants to do that, but there's also part of their energy that is really understanding that we're coming into a different frequency. And the frequency is letting go of that I am the one frequency. Okay, so we all got born into the I am the one, like I need to be the one to change this. I need to be the one to do this. I need to be the one to forgive the people or rule the people or control the people or whatever it is. Like I am the one. I need to be the one to heal the people. I need to be the one to enlighten the people. Whatever your version of that has been, we're in the process of releasing that. We're in the process of coming more into a group energy, a group energetic. There's lots of books, by the way, that talk about this. Dolores Cannon's books, the Law of One books, the Raw books, all talk about as we move up in consciousness and making this big shift on this global plane that we're making here on Earth from this polarization that we've been in, this service to the self, to now this more service to others, oneness-based consciousness. A lot of these old programs that were very true and real and in full operation in the service to self world, they're not gonna work in the service to others, positive polarity, other dimensional worlds, right? We can't take the same set of rules here over here. And I'm literally seeing the vision of if you were a sea-dwelling creature, a bottom of the sea-dwelling creature, the same set of rules doesn't apply to you that applies to us here on Earth. You have a totally different set of gravitational rules and rules about light and all of those things versus what we experience here on top of the planet. So the same thing as we're moving out, as you're moving out of these third dimensional service to self based constructs, you're gonna probably feel that squeeze of the coffee grounds as the French press comes down to squeeze those up and out of you. And how this happens is it literally gets expressed through, if you can think about yourself as the light source in the movie theater, and the light's coming out of your eyes and projecting out in the world, it literally will then project out situations in your life where you'll feel the outpicturing of this somehow. And the work really is to understand that you are part of a global process of alchemization. You're a part of a global process of re-seeing and re-knowing things into a higher octave of light and frequency and tone. And you do that by allowing the energy to be seen and then re-witnessed from a higher perspective. And so this may very well be happening for you. Let's say I'm seeing a group of teachers and they're in a classroom together and there's a lot of conflict going on. You really might have to be the one teacher in there that sees everybody as divine, no matter how much they are behaving badly. Or maybe it's the kids. Maybe your work is between Russia and the Ukraine, and to literally see everyone in this situation as divine, not in separation. In the past, we've thought of people as these ones over here are good because they're doing these things, and these ones over here are bad because they're doing these things. And in the energy of the new earth, in the energy that's being born as and through you, you're coming to the understanding that really what we're here to do is to re-see everything around us as in the energy of the divine. And that's the true healing alchemy of this time. But we get to experience a lot of these little situations that are really very uncomfortable at times. So another one, so outgrowing your container, the I have to be the one. And by the way, the I have to be the one, for those of you, I know a lot of you who watch this channel are healers, you're energy intuitives, you're psychics, you are maybe you're naturopaths, maybe you're chiropractors, maybe you're an acupuncturist. So really going into the energy of my clients can be the one to heal themselves. I'm here as a support, but really tapping into their divine wisdom, their divine knowing. I really feel like 2022 is all about empowerment and empowering the self. And if you're a leader, empowering the people you work with to be empowered in their selves. So you might very well be getting opportunities in your practice, in your daily lives to infuse the people that you meet with more personal empowerment, to infuse them with tuning in to their higher self. Asking them, what does your higher self tell you? And if they don't know, helping them, teaching them some tools to work with that energy. It's so, I know for me as an energy intuitive, it's so easy to go into that old space of, well, let me just tell you what I see and let me just tell you what's going on, right? As opposed to engaging the client and asking the client, what do you see? What are you feeling for yourself? What are you noticing? So if you are an energy healer, if you're a doctor, if you are one of those people who is classified as a traditional healer, really asking and inviting your clients or your patients' higher self to come in and be the director of their body vehicle. Even though you might know a ton about how their body vehicle works, asking them to be an active participant in the work. Okay, let's see what else. So we are in the process of consciously dissolving and recreating a lot of situations in your world right now. In essence, this is just something that's happening, but this last week has been fairly an intense push through that. So if you've been feeling disconnected, or if you've been feeling really depleted or tired, people have been calling me all week, letting me know that that's kind of across the board for them. And I always tend to feel like when we feel more tired, it's the universe asking us to go more offline, to tune more into ourselves, to get adequate rest and hydration, and really bolster up the physical self. There's parts of your cellular structure that are actually changing here, and you're purging out a lot of old, people call them codes, but you could also call it beliefs. Those beliefs are stored in your genetic information. Like, your genetics hold a lot. So those beliefs are getting purged out. You're recreating new beliefs that support you creating new structures. And we really do need a lot of new beliefs that are going to anchor you into a more new world reality. But how I'm seeing this right now, this time of especially March and April through the rest of 2022, through the rest of 2023 and 2024, is this time of I call it the big purge out of the old beliefs, where you're just going to see them come up. They're going to just come up for you to see again and again and again. And then as each one comes up, your work is to really ask, what would someone who is engaged in love-based consciousness believe about this situation? What would someone who believes in complete abundance for all do in this situation? If you think about what's happening on the global scale right now, everything that we're seeing that isn't feeling really great to our energy system, that doesn't feel of the good, is really born out of greed, out of fear, out of lack, or out of limitation. It's born out of those lower energies. And so what you're having to do right now is not the easy work, by the way. You didn't come here for this to be easy. You are the bridge generation. I call you the bridge people. You're the one who are making the bridge. And sometimes when you're going over the bridge, it feels very scary. In fact, there's a bridge that I've driven over. It's called the Bridge of the Gods, and it's in Washington. And as you drive over this Bridge of the Gods, it's very high, and then it kind of drops. And literally, I think every time I drive over this bridge, like, am I gonna make it? This seems really scary to me. So you might, as the bridge generation who's building this bridge every day, with every thought you think, every signal you send out, you're building this bridge. Every old belief that you tear down, you're building this bridge. But it can feel, as you're building the bridge, it can feel scary. It can feel like, I'm not sure if I'm going to make it across. Truth is, you absolutely will. my friends. That's why you came here, you gorgeous miracles of light. You came here to build the bridge, the most magnificent and gorgeous bridge of all. And you came here with a whole lot of skills and talents and latent abilities that are coming back online. But there are times like this that do feel kind of inextricably hard. So let's talk about a couple of tools and takeaways that you can use during times right now when it can feel a little harder than normal. Okay, so number one is really asking yourself right now, where do you need more room to grow? And how could you ask the universe to give you that room to grow? How could you just invite that growth in a really positive way to come through? The old belief about growth, by the way, the one that you're untwisting from and recreating, was that growth happened through hard and difficult circumstances. The new belief that you're rewiring is growth can come from fun and joy and pleasure. So ask the universe, simply say to the universe, divine source energy, show me how to grow through pleasure and fun and joy and something that lights me up. Let me see that positive polarity, service to others type of energy. Bring it in through me. Remember that I call it the process of ascension, but really it's a process of descending higher frequency energies in and through your physical body, then projecting that out in and around your world, bringing it in through the earth so that other human beings can entrain to it and alchemize with those energies. And, a really easy thing that I like to do is just think about the beliefs of 400 years ago. 400 years ago, no one believed that washing their hands made any sort of a difference at all. Like, that was just the belief. Like, we didn't even know what germs were. And then microscopes, we realized, oh yeah, if you wash your hands, it actually does something. So same thing with nutrition, right? We had a lot of weird beliefs about nutrition, and now we realize that just more than macronutrients, there's a whole thousands of phytonutrients that you need every day in your diet that only come through eating raw fruits and vegetables. So there's all these new data points that back then we didn't know about and we didn't believe, and now we do. So if you think about you as a catalyst for new beliefs, as a catalyst for new ways of feeling and resonating, it's gonna just really help you along the way. By the way, I have a new podcast episode coming out tomorrow. It's all about relationships, soul growth, twin flames, soulmates, soul contracts, and it's a lot to do about what the energies are going on right now. So be sure to be on the lookout for that. But right now, this is your time to just really ask those higher energies to come in and through you. It doesn't even have to be hard. It can be so easy. Simply just close down your eyes, put your hand on your heart, ask divine source energy to come in and through you. Feel your whole vibration be uplifted. You can even ask if you believe in your angel team or the monad or God, divine source energy, whatever you call it. There's no right or wrong. Just ask that energy to uplift your energy frequency into upper rooms, the higher level rooms of vibration, and show you a very physical expression, a very physical manifestation of what that feels like. It's so helpful just to ask right now for the guidance. Many of you are in the place where you really don't know what the next steps are. You know that there should be some next steps, but you have no idea what they are. So ask for guidance from your highest source of guidance. I always like to include that, your highest, most loving source of guidance. Ask to see it so that you can be shown those next steps to do. Or even, how I see this a lot is I'll hear a conversation in passing. I'll be like, oh, that little bit was for me. I had a friend once tell me that they were walking through an airport and literally this person was passing by them and said, wake up. And she was in her wake up process, right? She was in her whole wake up process. So these are how little cues can come in from the universe. Look for angel signs from your numbers, or look for numbers from your angels. And really in general, just ask every day to be attuning your frequency, your body vehicle, your thoughts, your feelings, your energies and emotions to this new energy that is really flooding onto the planet. in whole and different ways. And as it floods in, one of the things that can happen is we can feel off kilter. And I want you to imagine, I'm literally being shown the image of a round object that was going very slowly, and it was used to that oscillation of going slow, and now it's been sped up very fast. And so that's what's starting to happen. You're being sped up, so to speak, in your vibrational frequency, and you're calibrating to that. So just know that that's what's happening right now, and know that you are doing this so beautifully. You cannot get this wrong, by the way. You can only get this right. You came here for this time. You came here to bring more love and bring more consciousness, and you're doing amazing. And on those hard days, if I could just leave you with one thing, on those hard days, and it has been pretty hard this last week, just let it be okay to not be okay. There's that great song, who sings it? It's okay not to be okay. Some days it is okay not to be okay, and just ask even for more support on those days. Ask to be shown more love from your highest guidance team. Ask to be shown more support from the universe. Ask to have more laughter and more joy in your daily life, because I really get that we need to attune to those frequencies. And so I'm going to just leave you with this final little tip. So this is something that I do when I'm not feeling okay, because of course I have days where I'm not feeling okay. But what I do on the days that I'm not feeling okay is I just simply put on one of my favorite meditations, which, by the way, we have in the Miracles portal. And if you're not a member, you can get a free monthly membership by going to createmiraclesdaily.com. And you can hear these brainwave frequencies. So I put on a brainwave frequency, and then I consciously go to my pineal gland, and I ask my pineal gland to radiate out and attune to frequencies of new possibilities. And I'll literally just close my eyes and imagine new possibilities coming in that I don't even know, I can't even visualize. I'm just seeing new possibilities, new potentials from higher timelines. You don't even have to know how to do this. Just let yourself imagine new possibilities. Let yourself project the energy and start to be the radio station that you're turning your dial into those new possibilities and those new potentials. That will help you. You could also tune into the radio station of joy or love or peace. But remember, no matter what radio station you tune into, you are constantly tuning into something. It's either going to uplift your frequency or it's going to drag that frequency down. And so at any moment's notice, just realize, well, what is this doing to my frequency? Do I feel uplifted and positive by hanging out with this person? Or do I feel a huge thud in my energy system? And if you do feel a huge thud in your energy system, well, that's okay. One thing you might do is practice with them, not outwardly, but inwardly, seeing them as a divine being of light. Just practice running that Christed consciousness, that Christed energy, that divine source energy as and through you as you're being with this person, and see if you feel the same thud in your system. Okay, so my friends, that is the work right now, but it has been a tough week. I just wanted to send you a little extra love this week because I know so many of you light leaders, light workers have really been going through it. So just give yourself so much love. Know that you are doing the work. The whole planet is so glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. And every moment you can rewire a new belief, or every moment you can see your role in how something's been expressing in a lower frequency and clean it up, you are helping to uplift and ripple out just massive upliftment to the whole entire planet. So give yourself a big hug and a love. I'm giving you a big hug and a love. And be sure to like this video, share it with your friends. It helps us, and it helps your friends feel really supported who are going through this time too. Okay, my loves, I love you so, so much. Have the best day, and bye for now.